Hello, this is Nathan, better known as CrazyhermitDM, and this is my podcast, The Hermit's Homebrew. Joining me today is Brent from Langeministudio that can be found on Instagram, as well as Kilk, who can be found on TikTok as well as Twitter. That night, you guys kind of set up camp, and you bring out your little Wonders figurine of basically a Chihuahua dog. That will keep alert, and then you also set your golem to watch over them. And then in the middle of the night, these fire wasps come out of the sky just because it's dim, but it's not dark, and grab Flint in his underwear and just like fly off with
in his underwear. Jeez. That's why he's my friend, because he's part of the Gilvickle No Pants Party crew. Oh, God. He's my new No Pants Party friend. And we play music together. He can cast dancing lights. Like, he's my best friend.
My brother, like, when he first started playing that character, I am pretty sure, I'm going to have to ask him, but I am pretty sure he used to have that character sleep, like, fully nude every night.
Oh, that's funny. Flintstone was a good party member. Yeah. And he has the adventurer's pedigree, right? Because Odin at one point sent him, to his shadow realm, basically. Yeah. And all kinds of stuff. See, my brother was in the middle of the campaign. My brother and my sister had to step away from that campaign. So and it was like right in the middle of a story arc. So the character that was still kind of left behind, and then we had to take like a little bit of time off Nick was with us at that point. So we had us two, and then you came along. He found you pretty quick. He got you involved. So you came like the session next. Yeah. We might have took a couple of weeks off, but that's about it. Okay, I had Odin come in and just like show his almightiness or whatever, because they were only level 9 or 10 at that point. And like
show his almightiness.
And just like yeet the two into basically non-existence and kick the players out of Alfheim into a different part of Alfheim. And that's the last you guys ever saw of Flight. And then I think my brother came to me, he goes, so whatever happened to my character? And I explained that, Odin and all that had kicked him and my sister's character because they weren't able to continue on with the campaign at the moment. And just like, you guys, you went to an astral prison. Like, you're with the worst of the worst out of the 9 realms.
Odin's own personal astral prison.
You're in Odin's max security prison.
Jeez.
And that's why he has like the Post Malone facial tattoos. It's like, I just imagine this.
I did time, man.
Yeah, he did time, and I just imagine this like dwarf bard who's just like a very like well-intentioned bard. Just we explained it. Just bad things happen to him. Like very comically usually, and now he's starting to do like a max security astral prison. I just imagine like the real world equivalent of just like a dungeon of Russian prison dude.
Oh, like a gulag almost.
Yeah.
Oh God.
Because and that's why I got the facial tattoo ideas as well, is because like Russian prisoners have all these.
Yeah, they have. Yeah. And from those tattoos, you can tell where they've done time. Yeah.
And I'm sure if like people probably, looked at his tattoos and did that, I was planning on that. It's like, I know what that tattoo means. I'm sure if like we had Nick like really look into it, since he's a tattoo person.
Well, and that's that character, his character Colfax.
Yeah.
Is a magical tattoo artist. So he'd probably be like extremely interested.
Yeah.
I mean, I think the story of how Flintstone is no longer in Odin's prison is probably really cool.
Yeah, I'm going to have to think of that one, because I'm going to have to come up with an over-the-top like reason, or just an overly comical, just like, this is what happened.
Yeah.
But he gets kidnapped by the wasps. The group follows. You guys head over to this wasp nest, and like I changed it from the Descent to Avernus book a little bit, because like you'd point out to the group or whatever, like in the original book, it's like a floating hive and it's being held by these chained angels up in the air,
which is metal as fuck.
Yeah. Well, you're also in hell in that, so that makes sense. For the Fire Realm, like I went on YouTube actually all this week, and I'd watched actually 2 documentaries on wasps just to like.
I'm sorry. Wow.
Yeah, they're quick, like 10-20 minute documentaries, but there's like one on ground wasps.
Okay.
And that's where I'm like, you know what? I want a ground hive. That's kind of cool. They won't expect that. And just like
I wasn't, that's for sure.
You come to find out they've been digging into the ground and basically like just taking this refuge of the surrounding area, and then any adventure they've come across and molded it literally into their hive.
Yeah, yoink.
and you guys like go in and start just basically there's 3 or 4 floors, and you guys.
I think it was 4.
And then that first floor, like Toy Bar, you were mentioning it earlier. One of them alpha striked you a bit and kind of took you halfway down.
Yeah, he messed me up. I only have 80 health, right? And that's not a lot with only a 13 AC. So
yeah, Toy Bar got wrecked. I was concerned.
Yeah, to be all honest, like if I wasn't rolling so low on a lot of those saving throws you guys were throwing, it probably would have been a different battle.
Yeah,
and we probably would be still like playing the hive because I imagine the combats would have lasted a little bit longer.
Yep.
But with like Silvera doing chain lightning, the bad rolls, and just like you guys really like playing it smart. You guys stuck to a plan of just like doing what you did and going through.
Yeah, I was scared initially, but once Toy Bar farted, it was pretty much over, which was hilarious. The wild magic surge there to basically freeze that first fight really helped out.
So what did your wild magic surge do?
It created a 10-foot radius around me, right? That you made a bad stench. It made a bad stench in a 10-foot radius around me, and everyone had to pass a con saving throw or become stunned.
As you're describing this, Nate's looking at me confused. I'm like, you really forgot what happened?
I had worked a 12-hour day yesterday. Then we did 4 hours.
I surged, right?
4.5 hours of D&D, yeah.
And then I had a wild magic surge, and on my table, which has 300 options, right? It surged into 10-foot radius around me. Everyone around me has to make a con saving throw or be stunned.
And you took...
And we turned into children.
You took Sarah out for the combat.
Yep.
You took Tove out for the combat.
Yep. We're the ones who passed for me and Rama.
Yeah. And then, I basically described it to everyone. It's like anyone that's ever had an upset stomach or had like sulfur burps or like acid reflux to where it's worked through your system and you can tell that it's going to be very like pungent.
It's going to be bad.
This is what you're smelling right now through Toy Bar on top of the stench of the decaying corpses.
Yeah, exactly.
Somehow Toy Bar's stench has
overpowers all of it.
Overpowers all of it.
Yeah.
It smells like he's ate Colin Blow Taco Bell.
Oh God.
So the interesting about all that is because we survived, right? Like Toy Bar could have died, but everything around got stunned.
Yeah.
And if you're trying to save against me, you have to roll a 19.
Yeah.
So
you now have a 22 charisma thanks to the epic path that I've like homebrewed into our things.
Yeah. And it's been interesting.
Oh yeah.
Because everybody kept failing, like even through the whole combat. It could have said 1 minute. Yes, that's what it was. For 1 minute, you are stunned. All right, though, because now I can choose between my things. Yeah. Which, by the way, is probably going to turn into a fate dice roll a lot of time.
You can choose your what?
He can choose his surge now.
Yeah, I can roll on the surge table twice.
And choose which surge?
Which one? Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, that's going to be interesting.
Oh.
So yeah, that was the first level.
That's my level 14 controlled chaos.
Yeah, controlled chaos, yeah.
Nice. Okay, I did not know that was actually a thing with the wild mage. I'm going to have to... apparently I need to read up on your guys' subclasses a little bit more because I know Monk gets something that I'm going to have to look up too. Monk got something last level at 13. He's able to like read or write.
Yeah, he can understand all spoken languages.
That's right.
Yeah.
Rama gets basically a jail out of free card.
Yeah, get out of death free card.
As you said on the Discord earlier. And then she will again next level through the epic path, but I might, because I didn't like put those 2 and 2 together, so that ability might change into something else. That way it just doesn't get monotonous. And
yeah.
is that
and Toy Bar has one now.
Oh yes, you have one through your epic.
I basically have the same ability, right?
Yeah.
Like in a sense.
And then Tove has a little bit more of a unique twist on her. She gets her this level at 14. And basically, when an ally dies, she can choose to basically take that death instead upon herself and then reappear a certain amount of time later.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Okay. Gotta read that one. Holy cow.
Yeah. And basically join the Yggdrasil for a bit and then just repop back up in a puff of flame.
All right. Damn.
And then yours is like you basically get now your Hexblade's curse is buffed.
Yeah,
it's
Hexblade
even more
curse is buffed.
Expanded crit range to 18 to 20, 18 19 to 20. It does a little bit more damage and gives you, I think, a buff as well.
Yeah. And then also, I just get the regular paladin ability of improved smite to where every weapon attack that I do deals an additional D8 damage, regardless if I smite or not.
That was the other thing was against your Hexblade's curse. If you mark them, you cannot forcibly be moved by any means. Like
by them.
By them.
Okay, cool.
So basically, they can't teleport you, they can't push you, they can't shove you, and I even put on the wording they can't banish you.
Man, we should have waited to fight Mahani because he tried to fucking banish me. I mean, it didn't work. I mean, I passed my save, but. Still,
that'd have been the second time he got banished in this campaign.
Yeah, I know, right? People are trying to get rid of me for some reason. What the hell?
The low moment of the session, though, came in that final boss battle with Merrick. You roll the 1, and then we have...
I rolled a 2.
I rolled a 2.
I rolled a 2.
And then we have our inspiration chips, which is a little bit of a homebrew version of inspiration. I hand them out a little bit more freely. We've talked about on a podcast before of what I do. So you had a couple of like inspiration points, and so if you rolled a 2, inspiration didn't do a 1. Inspiration did into a 1, and those were your 2 like inspiration points. And then I like handed you my dice because I thought you had another chip, and you're like, or maybe you did, and you're
I did because I had 3.
Okay,
I had 3, so I rolled a 2, and I'm like, no, I'll spend a chip because I want this to hit. So I spent the inspiration, I rolled it, it became a 1. I'm like, okay, I can't let a fumble stand. So I spent the second chip, and I rolled a second 1. And I was like, I can't let this stand. So I spent my next chip, and then you gave me your die. And I was like, you gave me a DM, one of your Dungeon Master dice. And I was like, if this comes up a 1, I get a free reroll.
And I'm just like, in my head, I took a split second. I'm just like, you know what, 5% chance. Sure.
And I threw the die. It was a 2. So
it was so funny.
A 2, a 1, a 1, and a 2. Like, are you serious?
Would you have let me bend luck right there to a 1? Because I can make it go up or down.
Why would you do that?
Because then you would have gotten a free reroll.
Oh, shoot!
Teamwork. Would you have allowed that, Nate?
Yeah.
Oh,
I didn't think about it. But...
I didn't either. Yeah. Oh, wow.
It was 10 o'clock at night, so that's fine.
Yeah, we were tired, and so
that would have been a very critical miss blunder version of Iron Man and Captain America, where Iron Man uses their little teammate moves they use in the Avenger movies. But yeah, sure.
Oh yeah.
Oh my god.
It wouldn't be the first time in this campaign, right? When you use shield against the fire giant when he came to, and he crit you, so you had to use shield, and then I rolled luck on him to drop it from a critical to a regular hit.
Yeah. So yeah, that's come into play before, and so yeah, it was just like, you know what, that I'm just not supposed to hit. Screw it. And then I rolled my second attack, and that ended up hitting, and I was like, okay, screw it. I'm going to 3rd level smite. I'm so pissed because I was paralyzed beforehand because I failed my save from one of the wasps, so I was paralyzed. I spent 3 rounds paralyzed. Now I can finally do something. I fumble my die rolls completely. I'm like, Merrick is so bad right now. 3rd level smite, screw it. And then I rolled enough to do the death blow on the Queen Fire Wasp.
By like single digits within like maybe 3 HP like damage over their HP.
Yeah, so I'm like, screw it. Like this, Merrick's mad.
Yeah, and then you throughout like the process of that last or maybe it was the fight before, but you found out one of the side effects. There's still one other one that I have.
Yeah, I mentioned because there's still one side effect of the sword that I don't know about. Yeah.
But you found out one of them is when you do kill a person, their soul also goes in the sword.
Yep.
And for 24 hours, the way that's worded, and I have it worded on my DM thing.
Yep.
Why you have those temporary hit points, that sword retains the soul and the intelligence of that creature.
Yeah, so now I'm sitting here with a sentient sword that is buzzing in my head the entire time because I killed a wasp.
Yeah, just a normal like little worker wasp.
Yeah, and so now it's buzzing in my head constantly. Like, oh, this is great.
And now you
know what it should do? It should make it so you can't concentrate on spells.
You get disadvantage on concentration.
Because it's just like,
oh my god, shut it up.
Like it would be interesting. Yeah, or it would be interesting on like a DM's part, right? Depending on the being that you put in there.
On what's in there, yeah, exactly. Oh wow. So now there's another one in there, and it's the queen.
Yeah. Oh no, you have two of them. Mahadi's so mad, I bet.
Well, no, one of them should be gone. Because I lost those temporary hit points from getting hit.
From the wasp, yeah.
So the first wasp is gone.
Oh, interesting. I didn't know that's how it worked.
So I lost those temporary hit points. So that soul is gone. But now the queen wasp is in the sword with Mahadi. So it's like, oh, I bet he's having fun.
But that's where we ended the session, was just like you driving the sword through the queen's head.
Yep.
Killing it. And after that, I'm just like, it was about 10:15, so I'm just like, we'll call it there.
Yeah, and you did a real quick loot thing.
Yeah, and I'm like, hey, this bottom floor, just where we don't have to stay in the hive next session, this is what's in the bottom of the hive. It's just literally laying on the floor, because they're not going to hide it.
There's like, we don't want this. We're lost. We don't care.
Toe found a ring of protection, which will give her +1 to AC. And saving throws on top of her +2 leather armor now of Manticore leather. So she has a buff up now.
Yeah, she got a couple of upgrades. Yeah,
you found probably the most like sorcerer centric item or whatever, because I rolled on a random loot table the spell of spell, or the ring of spell storing.
Ring of spell storing, yeah.
Yeah, I think Hope I think someone else found that, but it was just part of the big horde, right?
Yeah, it was just part of I wrote it down, yeah.
But you asked.
So yeah, and I asked if anyone had any problems with like Toy Bar taking that, right? And they didn't, so it was fine.
Rings of spell storing can be really good for warlocks, considering they only have like, at this point in time, 3 spell slots.
Mm-hmm. Well, the nice thing about the ring of spell storing is, like, let's say there's a particular spell like Rama likes of toes, or that Toy Bar has that Rama likes.
Yeah,
they can store that spell in there, hand it to the other person, and now it's in that. And it's it only has to be a 3rd level of it though, or 3rd. It can only go up to a 3rd.
Yeah, so 3rd and down. Yeah. I think in 4th edition they had greater rings of spell storing. Mm-hmm. I don't know if they do in 5th or not. I don't remember.
No, they don't.
Oh, well.
I mean, we could.
Yeah, they could. Merrick's really interested in the shards of the shattered sword. So if we find someone with mending, can we put that back together?
Yeah. And we have a wizard that has it.
Yeah. So I'm like, okay, that's cool. Like, is it anything cool looking, or hey, Toy Bar, here's something to fuck around with?
Oh, I'm sure. Yeah, I'm sure. We can make it look whatever you want. I mean, if not, I'll figure out something that's...
It's the shards of Narsil.
Yeah. Or Andoril.
Andoril. Yeah. Sorry. Yeah. Andoril. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm sure I'll find something fun to put in it, right? It'll obviously be a very Toy Bar-esque item that he's going to use. It's not going to be one of those like, oh, I'm just putting counterspell at level 9 in there over and over and over again, right?
Even though
it's going to be like Nather's Mischief.
Yeah.
Prismatic Spray. Like, it's going to be a lot of the normal fun Toy Bar stuff. So
it's like, you put dancing lights in the ring of spell storing?
I mean, maybe.
Why? That way other people can do it too. You can have 3 people do the dancing lights.
All right. I Googled it. It is, what was it? Aragon's sword is Andoril.
It's Andoril?
Yeah.
Flame of the...
I have no clue off the top of my head, but I'm just looking at a bunch of replicas of it. But I wanted to wait a second. I know the name. I'm just going to double check.
Well, then what was Narsil?
I think that was one of the ones from The Hobbit. One of the things they found because there's Sting and Glamdering. Glamdring was the one Gandalf had.
Yeah. Whatever.
Yeah. Something to figure out off air.
Yeah. Something to, it doesn't matter. Yeah.
But with that, I think we're kind of winding down and almost at the 2-hour mark here for our multiple episodes. You guys want to leave off with any kind of final thought? Like you just mentioned the sword.
I think overall the wasp nest was really fun. The close quarters combat idea of it all was really cool. I would say as a player that, and this is me coming from the combat side of me, like adding a mechanic into that dungeon where like after every 2 turns, another wasp shows up on the battlefield. Because it's a hive, right? So there's probably a lot coming and going. I think that could have been really cool, especially if it like showed up from behind the players.
Oh, like it was from out in the wild. It was coming home, and
it was just coming home, and it heard whatever scent or something that wasps or bees put out. Danger to the hive. So like they're coming back, right?
And they comes into the front door and there's dead wasps everywhere.
I mean that's something you guys could possibly have to deal with on your way out because you're still at the bottom there.
Yeah. And those are, otherwise I thought it was well done, right? There's not a lot of battle maps out there that are just so close quarters like that.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it was what, like 20 by 20 almost?
Those 2 of the floors, and then like the other ones were the 2 middle sections were kind of a little bit bigger, but not much.
Yeah, the Queen's chamber was bigger. Yeah. So kind of like, oh, this is really claustrophobic. Holy cow!
it added a different dimension to things. For sure.
Absolutely. You're not in a wide open field, and you can cast chain lightning and hit like 8 different things. Oh no, we've got to worry about spell area effects. It
gave when I was looking at the maps, it gave that older edition feel because you look at like a lot of older edition maps, like it's a lot smaller rooms or very narrow, only 5-foot corridors or.
Oh wow.
Yeah. Well, look at like the most infamous one, the Tomb of Horrors. Like a lot of the hallways throughout the Tomb of Horrors are only, some of them are 10 feet, but a lot of them are 5 feet as well.
Oh, that's true. Yeah, that's true.
Or like White Plume Mountain, or I'm just naming the classics here, but.
Yeah, that's where White Plume Mountain is where
Black Razor
came from. Yeah.
Yep. Which I have to probably go out to my mailbox later because my Tales of the Yawning Portal's here where I can.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Hey, let's go. That's awesome.
Fantastic.
Which actually, I think I can officially announce it right now on the podcast because by the time this podcast comes out, it will be the official announcement is I'll be hosting games at Midwest Fest as well as doing 2 panels for sure. Definitely on Saturday. I've already submitted the actual game and it's already been approved for the Tomb of Horrors on Saturday from
fucking go.
Noon to 4.
Hell yeah.
Or maybe a little bit longer, but they prefer me to keep within those time slots just for other convention needs. And then I'm in talks. I've made arrangements with our new sponsor, RFI Prints, to print out the Tomb of Horrors for us.
Hell yeah. We
can have a literal, just one big old long tabled dungeon of that's all set up and people can wander through.
Oh my God, that'd be sick.
So things are on the up and up. Other than that, I think we're all done. Unless you guys have anything else.
No, I don't think so.
No, I'm good to go, man. That's a high note. That's enough.
All right. And we'll end it there.
Hey tabletop gamers, thank you for watching this episode of the Hermit's Homebrew. We come out with new episodes every Wednesday. Remember to like, subscribe, and share with your friends as we continue to level up and grow.